Policing in the 21st century has come full circle.
Good evening, all.
The old romantic notion of the Bobby on the beat, like Sergeant George Dixon 50 years ago, is very much back in favour.
See ya.
A new caring force has been created that works in collaboration with the community it serves, called the Neighbourhood Policing Team.
You're under arrest, OK, for assault.
Now the teams are in every local area of the country.
Get him! We've got a runner.
Cracking down on antisocial behaviour.
Stay here! Ow! I've had enough!
Busting suspected drug dens.
There's a very, very large grow in this room. Jackpot.
And laying down the law to crooks and criminals.
Who's your talk? I want him.
In this new series of Neighbourhood Blues, we're following the men and women from the Humberside Police Force.
You're under arrest.
I'm arresting you for being in possession of controlled substance.
As they strive to make our streets a safer place. Coming up, the neighbourhood team gets called in as horses take over the streets of Hull.
Excuse me, would you mind moving out the road so I can go, please?
A pair of warring neighbours' relationship reaches rock bottom.
It was just a big hole in the window.
And an abusive drunk gives officers a rough ride.
Get off me, now!
Travelling communities are often unfairly accused of causing trouble and crime in the areas they live in. The neighbourhood police in Hull generally have a good relationship with the travellers who come on their patch, except for one day a year when they take their horses out onto the streets of the city.
It's Bank Holiday Sunday in Hull, but very few members of the neighbourhood team are enjoying a day off. Today they've heard that members of the travelling community are planning a horse drive, where they ride their horses and carts around the roads in Hull. An injunction has been taken out to stop the event from happening, and police are there to enforce it.
For those that don't know, and I'm sure most of you will, last year a horse drive took place on North Hull. It involved around 90 horses and carriages and up to 300 persons.
The previous year's event descended into chaos, with people dangerously racing their horse-drawn carriages on public roads, putting motorists and pedestrians at risk. The problem the police have today is, because it's an unofficial event, they don't know for sure exactly where it will take place or how many people or horses will turn up.
The intelligence is that something's going to happen today. Unfortunately, we don't know what. We know a number of pubs within the North Hull area have been approached and asked to host this event. All have turned them down so far and don't want anything to do with it.
Despite the injunction, the police are expecting something to happen somewhere and want to make sure things don't get out of hand.
The key word is obstruction. And again, if we get ones or twos people turning up on horse and carts, I aren't too worried about them. One of the things is we can't stop people lawfully using the highway. That's one of the key points that the council wanted to make. If we do have to make an arrest, or if you feel it necessary to deal with somebody for an offence, and we need to seize that horse and carriage, which is the first thing that's going to cause issues for you, we've got mounted officers with an empty horse box who will come and collect the horse. We've got the capacity to deal with these incidents, but it's just to reassure you that we've got those capabilities available to us. OK, thank you, everybody. Good luck today.
PCSO Dawn Brown is patrolling her usual beat when she spots a vehicle which looks like it might be involved with the day's events.
Hiya. You all right? Is this for the horse fair?
Is what?
Is this for the horse fair?
Horse fair?
It's an opportunity for Dawn to find out what might be going on today.
Are we expecting a lot for the fair in Hull then? Are we expecting a lot of horses? I mean, last year there was over 100, wasn't there?
You know, it's been going on for years, and like a lot of people don't want to see it dying out, obviously. So I think it's coming back in a bit now.
One of the good things about being a PCSO is that you're on the street and you can talk to people, you can engage with them. He was very friendly, very warm towards us as we were with them. And it just needs that to happen more and more. I think with the horse fair, there's a problem there, is that it's potentially dangerous. And one of the big things that you need to take out insurance on these things, and they're not doing that. They're not taking out insurance. So if something happens that could be potentially very dangerous, then we're not covered for that. And they're going across main roads, across big junctions, and thinking that that's acceptable to do, when it's not really.
To stop the event from taking place, police and the local council have taken out an injunction. PC Andy Derbyshire is in charge of posting injunction notices in a number of pubs in North Hull, where travellers might decide to gather.
We're just going to one of the local pubs called Spotted Dog. So we're just asking the landlords, landladies, just to put the copies of the injunction in a prominent place, just to make sure that anybody does turn up who's planning on going to this event can see it and read it, and obviously be aware of what's going on. Good afternoon. Is the boss in?
Yes,
right. Have a quick word. Andy Derbyshire, I work for the Neighbourhood team.
Right.
Just to speak to you about this horse fair that's supposed to be happening over the weekend.
I'd like to know about this.
And we've managed to get an injunction with regards to having the event stopped.
I won't say expect any trouble, but you're always on the lookout for it. In large amounts, I will never serve them. Small amounts, yes, which we have had them a few times. They haven't caused no hassle.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem.
Hopefully there'll be no problems, but if there is, just give us a bell straight away.
That's guaranteed.
That's no worries. All right.
Lovely.
Thanks for that.
Cheers,
See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Ta-da now. So he's been given a mobile number to contact if he has any issues with any travellers just turning up, if he wants them sort of removing from the area or something like that, and you know, if he refuses to serve them and they refuse to go, then obviously we're on hand just to give him a bit of a hand with that, which I think he's going to appreciate. If it was done properly, if it was stewarded properly, if it was run properly, then perhaps we wouldn't have an issue with it. We'd just police it as normal, let it run its course, and that's it, everybody goes away. But unfortunately there are some of them who just go mad on the horses or on the horse and carts, and they're the few that cause the problems for the majority.
With little information about where the event is taking place, community officers are keeping their eyes out for any equine action. PC Nick Deacon has run into some on the outskirts of Hull.
Well, I would guess, we're going slowly, I would guess there's an horse and cart at the front of this.
Maybe news of the injunction hasn't reached everybody yet, or they're choosing to ignore it.
I've just seen 2 horse and carts going to the right. No.
Yeah, there's a few gathering here.
November Romeo 422, we have 5 horse and carts at the Fairmaid. It does look like they're parking up for the day as well, so I'll go in and have words with the landlord.
It looks like the travellers have found a way round the injunction, which only excludes them from Hull. This pub is just outside the city limits in the East Riding District.
Morning, all, you all right?
Yes, see him.
Yes. Guess what? It looks like you're going to have the travellers on the horse and carts if 5 have turned up this morning, and there are a few more heading up this way from Priory Road. The problems they found out last time was that they were a little bit on the rowdy side and put other families off, and all the glasses disappeared because they go out with them and they don't come back again. If you don't want to let them in, that's your choice, but it is specifically your choice. We can't influence that in any way, shape or form.
I'll give my boss a ring.
Yeah.
And see what he thinks. I'm not very concerned. They've always been really good with us in the past, and it is a big family gathering, and we're a family pub. So I'm not very concerned, but anything can happen.
Despite being banned from Hull, it looks like the horse drive is going ahead anyway. There's little Nick can do now apart from offer some words of advice to some of the participants.
How are you doing?
All right.
Your horse is all right today then?
Yeah.
You're looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure? You don't sound very convinced about it.
Well, better if your lads want it, won't it?
Well, no, because then I make sure you behave yourself instead of misbehaving.
Well, we always behave.
Get away with you.
We do.
Get away with you.
We do.
If we let it go, it'll be absolute flipping chaos.
Yeah.
But not a problem. We'll just here to make sure you behave yourself. They don't like our police presence. They think we're here to stop what they're doing. We're not here to stop what they're doing. We're here to facilitate what they're doing in a lawful and legal and appropriate manner.
Hey! Oh.
As lunchtime approaches, the pub and car park begin to fill up with people and horses.
So we're still at the Fairmaid. We've got about 19 horses now with the carriages, and probably about the same in vehicles. Just waiting to see if there's any more people that turn up. Apparently we've got about 4 or 5 more horse and carts due to turn up. They have said that they're going on a drive, but we don't know where they're going to as yet, so we're just basically gathering some more intel.
Where are you going now then? You're going to nowhere, are you? We're all come here for a drink. We're all enjoying a peaceful, quiet time. There's a few families here. They're not causing us any problems at this time. And they're allowed to go about their free business without any real issues. So let's just hope it stays as well humoured and they behave themselves when they go on their drive. At the moment, they're not telling us where they're going on their drive, other than nowhere. We have looked it up on the map and we can't seem to find nowhere anywhere on the map near here. So it's still a bit of a mystery.
But with the numbers of people and horses growing, it looks like the horse drive itself isn't far off happening.
We're all going to abide by the road laws and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Is that everybody right? We're going to enjoy ourselves today? Yes. Thank you very much.
Later, we'll see what happens when the horses, carts and passengers finally hit the road.
Not getting on with your neighbours can be a massive problem. A recent survey found that it's a major reason for moving house. Working in the heart of communities, neighbourhood teams often find themselves involved in disputes between residents, which sometimes get out of hand.
PC's Nadine Wilson and Carl Palmer have just begun their shift and have had a call about an incident on an estate in North Hull.
So we've had a report from a member of the public that some damage is happening in that house. So we're just going to see what's happening and see if we can catch the offender.
The incident has only just happened, so they're hoping whoever's done it won't be too far away. But first, they're calling at the house which has been attacked.
Hi, afternoon. What's happened then?
The living room window has had something thrown through it.
Do you know what she's thrown through the window?
Yes, it's there, look.
What was it?
That big bush.
Blimey, that's come somewhere. All right, okay.
A woman was seen throwing the rock through the window.
So do you know what it's about then?
Well, they're on about a bracelet and a ring that's gone missing. I've got nothing to do with it. I've told him this already.
So do you know who they are?
Yeah.
It looks like a dispute between neighbours has got out of hand. The alleged window breaker apparently thinks that her former friend has stolen jewellery from her, and the attack is in retaliation.
So has anybody actually seen this woman do it?
Yeah.
And you know
You're the only person who's...
My sister upstairs as well.
Right, so this has been going on for a week then?
Yeah.
She's been toing and froing for a week, saying
and
no,
I've
if
had
you
enough
don't...
of it now.
It's been day after day now.
Last night I nearly fainted on my stairs because of all the stress I've had. I just can't cope no more.
Did you ever... You should have rung us. Why didn't you think to ring the police?
I just can't.
If she's been... Has she been...
breaking down now and I just don't want to hear it at all.
No, but if she's been round threatening and stuff, didn't you think to give us a call?
I was going to hold the other night, but they took me to my son's.
Yeah, I told her to stay at my brother's because I didn't want to hear at all. I'm too protective of her.
We'll have to see if we can get this boarded up. I'm more than happy to go around now and get her in for it. That's not an issue.
Having been given the name and address of the woman who allegedly smashed the window, Nadine and Carl decide to pay her a visit. She doesn't want our camera in the house, but admits to having thrown the piece of concrete through the window. Although she's not being arrested right now.
Because of the way she's cooperated with us, that we've asked her to come to a police station voluntarily, and we're going to give her a voluntary interview where she can say what she has to say on a tape, and then we will take it from there and we'll find out what's going to happen to her after that.
We'll see in a moment what happens when the rock-throwing neighbour is questioned at the police station. With the price of metals like copper and lead on the rise, scrap metal theft has become increasingly commonplace, particularly among petty criminals looking to make a few quid quickly. Metal theft isn't a victimless crime. It often massively affects and inconveniences the public.
Well, I know that scrap metal theft is going on and people are stealing metals from the tube and places like that.
I'm a commuter and I know that my trains get stopped by people stealing copper and all different things like that from the train track, so it is a massively negative thing, and again, crime is crime at the end of the day.
Nick Deacon has left the pub where the travellers have gathered to have a look around the neighbouring streets.
It's a walk in the park comparison. It's so quiet in comparison with last year's. By now we were having problems.
But his horse scouting is put on hold when he gets a call to assist two PCSOs who are chasing a suspected scrap metal thief who's threatened them with a syringe.
Waiting on the floor in rear of one of the garden. Not too sure which number it is. It's probably about halfway down.
So yes, I'll update you if there's any further.
They've now stopped the man in a garden which backs onto a large park. But beyond that, Nick isn't entirely sure where he's heading.
Our PCSOs have somebody detained for something. He's in a garden somewhere.
The PCSOs have chased and caught a man who was seen carrying some scrap metal. He's apparently threatened them as well.
I'll have these on for our safety to start with.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to these officers.
All right.
I'll find out what you've done. Roll yourself up.
Can I have that roll, please?
Yeah, we'll get... No, you're not having a fag, no. You're having a cigarette?
The suspect is well known to Nick and his colleagues.
What have you been doing? Tatting again?
Yeah, tatting and I panic, that's all.
All right then.
He's confessed to tatting, slang for taking items out of skips and scrapyards. He doesn't have any scrap metal on him though. He threw it away during the chase.
Where have you been nicking your metal from?
No, I took it out of the skip and I asked for it. I just panicked, that's all.
We'll need a double crewed officer if we're to deal with this gentleman. Gonna stand you up.
All right.
All right. Run your knees at both and push that way.
General Romeo 2-2, that's received. It's been run on 502. There is several units responding, etc.
I just panicked and run, that's all.
You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned something later line in court.
In order to charge the man with theft, Nick will need to find the metal and prove that the man's stolen it. But the suspect is claiming he was given permission to take it.
And it's not metal theft at all, because I already asked for it. They said to take what I wanted.
Despite his protestations of innocence, the man is being arrested. Nick isn't convinced, but will check out the situation.
I will go past that way just so we can have words with the skip owner. If that skip owner says you're all okay, you walk. If the skip owner says, ooh, you're a very naughty boy, you don't walk.
As they take the suspect to the police car, the officers are keeping an eye out for any metal that might have been discarded.
He's probably run and ditched something on the way.
Nick's right. Something has been ditched, but it's drugs, not scrap metal.
Yeah, he is unfit, he says he hasn't had any.
It'll be really cloudy.
Yeah.
Water's clearing out on that.
Yeah, it might well be.
They're all capped up.
You've been seen ditching this, I've just been told. What's in the syringes so we know for our health and safety?
It's not mine. I don't know, it's not mine.
Right, we're also under arrest for suspicion of being in possession of a controlled substance, as well as your theft of the metal.
Nick is going back to the station to get the suspected amphetamine tested, so PC's Sean Davey and Nigel Morgan are given the job of taking the suspect to the area where he claims to have found the skip containing the metal.
This gentleman's saying that he's got his scrap metal from a skip around the corner. Just going to do that inquiry before taking him into custody.
Not mine. Can't remember if it's left or right up here, but I know it's just up here. You see where that car is, don't you?
Yeah.
Walk down there, right? There's a bit open at the gate and loads of rubbish at the back, and people that's where people have been dumping stuff, and that's where I got it from. Down there, look.
Nigel has been trained in tracking down people, so you'd think he'd be able to spot something as big and immovable as a skip, but he comes up empty.
No, he said it was got out of skip. There's no skip there, is there? It's just like rubbish, isn't it? But yeah. That's copper and it's metal, isn't it? It's not rubbish.
Yeah, no, but that's where it was.
Right, okay.
And there was a guy walking by just there, and I said, is that anyone belong to it? And he's like, nah, go yourself.
With no skip, let alone someone allowing people to take things out of it, the man's story doesn't check out. So he's off to the cells to be booked in and to be searched to see if he has any more drugs.
So these officers are going to take you somewhere private and we're going to do a strip search on you.
Right, we'll do kick your shoes off, we'll do start to shoes next.
The man was later convicted of possessing a Class B drug and using threatening behaviour, and was sentenced to 6 months in prison. No charges were brought regarding the scrap metal. The neighbourhood team in Hull are investigating an attack on a house in the north of the city. A dispute between neighbours ended up with a rock being thrown through this woman's living room window. The woman she accused of doing it admitted her guilt and has come into the police station to give a statement.
She just said that she was really upset because her daughter had contacted her this morning about this jewellery that had gone missing because it had quite a lot of sentimental value to her daughter and the family, and in her own words she's so red and she's gone round to confront Julie, and Julie's denied it, and she's left the address, and she's, without any sort of real reason or explanation even to herself, she's found a stone and gone back and thrown it at the window. So obviously she's attended here now, so those facts are recorded. It's a bit of a strange one really, because the complainant's upset that a window's gone in, and the suspect, in all fairness, is pretty upset that she's done it really, so everyone's a bit sad about this one. I'll have to present all the facts to one of our evidence review officers who will look at the situation and take into other considerations, and hopefully, as I say, she should get a caution for this.
Once the paperwork has been completed, Nadine and Cole return to the victim's house, where the broken window has already been fixed.
Hi, right, coming in. Spoken to obviously she's admitted what she's done. She was saying that she was upset as regards to, I think it sounds like obviously her daughter's being upset to her, and as a mum she's come round. Obviously she's not saying that makes it okay or anything. So what'll happen now is obviously get a few lines from yourself as regards to the damage, and then a decision will be made as what's going to happen. In terms of your concerns about things rolling on with the families, draw a line under it now. Whatever's gone on, you don't have anything to do with each other. I mean, how do you feel about the whole incident now then?
I'm upset about it, but I just don't understand it. It's all just so stupid. It really is.
If you could just sign above there, that's just saying that it's the truth as you know it.
Yeah.
Underneath there. All right, take care. See ya. Bye. I've got the statement now from the complainant as to the damage.
We'll get in contact with the victim again at the end of the investigation.
The suspect and her family have given us assurances that this is the end of it as far as they're concerned.
The woman who admitted throwing the brick through the window was later cautioned for criminal damage. No further action was taken on the alleged stolen jewellery, and both parties seem to have observed Nadine's advice. Police in Hull are spending a sunny bank holiday Sunday at a horse drive. The event, which is unofficial and unlicensed, sees members of the travelling community ride their horses and drive their carts through the streets of Hull. There's an injunction in place to stop the drive, but they've got round that by moving just north of the city limits. It's mid-afternoon, and the event is in full swing, But the rogue riders, many of them fuelled by alcohol, are beginning to cause problems.
About 15 carts in total. From our point of view, it's trying to control them. And like we said before, when they get beer under their in the systems, they just come out and they don't look at the other road users, and they expect other road users to give way and to just let them have the free ride. Which it's all right if you see them, but if some people don't see them, it could cause mayhem and danger.
The travellers have now moved to a different pub and are apparently causing trouble, and the police have been called.
We're going down to the Barrowman pub. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but it's related to the travellers' horse drive. But they've asked us down there urgently, so for the majority of the day they've all been compliant, but now they've had a few more beers in and the weather's good. There's no need for them to rush home.
The landlady or the licensee from the Barrowmans asked that we remove people. They don't want them there anymore. They're causing a bit of a ill feeling towards the community now, the locals. So we're going to ask them to move on.
We got told by our boss we're not allowed to serve. We've got no choice but to send them away, and it's unfair. That we can do, really. It's a shame.
Being asked to leave the pub hasn't gone down well with the travellers.
The horse was here before them cars, weren't they?
It's mainly the fact of the non-travellers. The non-travellers that cause us bad publicity, because they go about thinking they can handle horses and left, right and centre, and it just causes us so much, and then we get the blame for it.
I take my ass off to the police. They've been fine as far as I've seen. We haven't really wanted to do anything but have a gathering, as we always do. A few of us out enjoying ourselves.
Rich West has found the landlady who'd asked the travellers to leave.
One of them said, shut the pub down and get everybody out then. We can't throw our regulars out for them. No way.
I mean, there was an old lady, she's in her 80s, she was terrified. So, but a lot of them are really, really nice people.
Yeah, you're right.
So, we're not being discriminating.
No. Give us a shout if anything else happens.
As well as keeping the public safe, police are also keeping an eye on the horses taking part. Officers working alongside the RSPCA have stopped a horse which they think is being overworked.
We followed the horse a short distance from Cottingham to here, pulling a trailer, a very, very heavy trailer with probably 6 to 8 people on the back of it. And we were concerned for the horse's welfare. It's obviously struggling to pull that amount of weight at the speed that they wanted the horse to move at. We've also witnessed a horse being whipped quite hard as well. And obviously there's a welfare issue regarding the animal. So we pulled the vehicle over, spoken to the owner of the horse, and obviously spoken to the person driving the trailer as well.
They saying my horse is knackered, and I was going to this pub here, that's the last pub, and I was going to on your kit, wash it out, take it in the horse box back on, but no, these officers pulled us in.
A red mark has been sprayed on the horse by an RSPCA officer to show that it must not be used again today, or it will be seized. It's not a popular decision with one man in particular. He's kicked off and is being arrested.
Calm yourself down. Calm down. Calm yourself down.
Listen,
get out. Father. Right, calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down.
I'll tell you my name.
No, you're getting in the van now. Calm down. Put on. Stand, fellas. Release your grip. Release your grip.
I don't like people.
Release your grip.
Did I do it wrong?
Just grab a second.
No, listen, tell me your name. Did I do it wrong?
The owner of the allegedly overworked horse has decided to follow the RSPCA's advice, though it hasn't gone down well with some of his friends.
Be a man and walk up the road, Tom.
Idiot,
Go swear, walk up the road and be a man for once.
Idiot, how
Job, just walk away.
Shut up.
Job, just walk.
Started off reasonably well, reasonably friendly this morning. We had quite a bit of interaction with various people that were meeting up in smaller groups, and throughout the day they've got into bigger groups. They've gone to public houses and obviously started drinking. And I think that as the day's gone on now, the drink's beginning to take effect.
See these? All these, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them over there, against the mush what's done now. Now, not a thing wrong. The only thing he's done is come to on a lost drive. A lost drive, what didn't even take place, you know. Then he comes back round here and they're twisted him up for now. That's why travellers have got on a problem against these lads. That's all it is. The travellers ain't got out against the community. They've got them against each one of these. 100 of all the log numbers and all that on, man. These sham your lives, lads. BBC, there you are.
As I said. An unhappy individual, but there you go. I don't think he maybe would have been so vocal at 8, 9, 10 o'clock this morning, but drink maybe is helping him along the way a bit.
What a waste of taxpayers' money, eh? What a waste,
There we
man.
go.
What do you pay taxpayers? Taxpayers' money, what a waste.
You answer me one question honestly, yeah? You would not be stood there today for one for horses, look, because Ossie pulled the cannon in the First World War. You'd be Germany for one for horses.
Yeah, but
is that right,
I don't know what the young lady is. The young lady's only talk. We're only
I think we're getting a bit off the subject, aren't we?
What we're talking about. Excuse me, would you mind moving out of the road so I can go, please?
The horse drive now appears to be coming to an end, with most of the participants settling in one pub. But with news of the arrest getting around, it's vital that the police maintain order.
Go that way, put it in there, but get it off the footpath, please.
Go on, exit, mate. I didn't want to...
It's obstruction on our way.
Things seem to have calmed down, but the police are still on their guard.
It's all right.
After one male was arrested earlier, some of the group have now become anti-police. The only problems that we've got is the more alcohol they take on board, the more problems they're likely to cause for us. It's a slight concern. We've still got control of the situation at the moment. As long as they're here, we know where they are and they're contained at the moment. It's when they start disappearing off here, there and everywhere that we can't keep a track of where they are. So as long as they're all together at the moment, we do know where the group are.
Two of the earlier protagonists are being spoken to.
And what's happening now is we're starting to get the minor public order offences. You know, the swearing in a public place, the hand gestures and whatever else. And all I'm saying to your man here is, we're going to start taking action with that now. Because if you look, there's Mr. and Mrs. Smith there, if you like, with their 4-year-old little, come out for a dinner. There's a load of people in the car park, effing and jeffing and shouting and swearing. Likely to cause harassment, alarm, distress under Section 5 of the Public Order Act.
Thankfully though, beyond a few raised voices, the rest of the evening passes smoothly, with the strong police presence preventing things from getting too out of hand.
I have to say that, you know, we're not very popular. They regard us as interfering with their right to have a horse drive. But generally speaking, most police officers are able to communicate with members of the public, even in difficult circumstances like this. So to some extent, they realise we're doing our job.
Despite being unable to prevent the drive going ahead, the neighbourhood teams have managed to keep things under control and keep the local community safe and secure, though there are some things even they can't do anything about. PC Nicola Camis and PCSO Becky Brown are out on patrol in Bridlington when they're forced to stop by more animals in the road.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Duck going for a walk. A little date look. Yeah.
Soon though, they're off to a local coach park where a suspected thief has been apprehended.
November Whiskey 15 attending. So what's happening now is we've just had a high priority come into the IRT unit that somebody's been caught breaking into a vehicle down on the coach park, and somebody's caught them and locked them into the back of the lorry. The coach park, sometimes truck drivers will park in there for the evening, and they've caught them trying to break an entry, so they've locked them into the back of the wagon. And that's what's come over the radio, so we'll see how true that is when we arrive. You know, under common law, I suppose you could call it a citizen's arrest.
Other officers are already at the scene, and they have released the suspect from the back of the lorry.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Is that your card as well?
He's claiming he's not a thief, just someone looking for a place to roll a cigarette.
I've had about a litre of white cider. I was sat in this cab because it was open and it's out with the wind. Because it's been quite windy recently.
Does it belong to you?
No, it doesn't. That door and that door was both locked, so it was more the fact that I had to shout hello so someone would know I was there. Otherwise it would have drove off.
The man was locked in the back of the lorry by another driver who'd seen him acting suspiciously.
He walked across the car park. I think he'd been drinking for some time this afternoon,
He come over, tried all the lorry doors. The driver wasn't in, come round the back of the trailer, climbed into the back of the trailer, started rifling through all the boxes and his cargo the driver's got. So obviously I phoned the haulage company and they've asked me to phone the police. I asked him if he wanted me to lock him in the back of the trailer. So he said yes, so I decided to lock him in the back of the trailer until he started screaming for help, let me out.
I feel somewhat ridiculed and somewhat absolutely realistically on the pure fact, had I not been sat in there and having a cig, then I wouldn't have been caught in the back of that wagon, so I would have been fine.
I know we're laughing about it, but there's not many members of the public that would be willing to take matters into their own hands and do that, is there?
No, there's not, but at circumstances like this, when you've got a chance to do that, you know, to try and catch someone, you've got to take it if you're capable of doing so.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
I think, from what I can understand, I think he's just drunk, and I think he's just wanting to get his head down somewhere. I'm not saying that's right. You shouldn't be doing that in your lorry, by no means. And I think you did absolutely right by ringing 999 and...
That driver's got a delivery tomorrow in Cornwall.
And he's taking him with him in the back of the van.
If he wakes up in 2 miles from Newquay in Cornwall, then he's had a good night's sleep.
Although nothing untoward has happened, lorry drivers are often in danger, sleeping in car parks like this one.
When you sleep over from day to day, night to night in a lorry, you've got to be aware and be, you know, quite cautious of things what are going on around you, like, you know, burglaries. You know, he sometimes suffers anxiety and stuff like that, and sleepless nights, wondering and worrying.
The drunken man is being taken home to sleep off the cider.
That it's not such a serious offence that we must have him in and must be interviewed now. So it's going to be in slow time, is the investigation. My colleague's going to be taking a statement from the driver and getting in contact with the company to see what their views on it are as well.
Thankfully, nothing's been taken and no one's been harmed. After further investigation, the man was released without charge.
Sometimes the lorries leave their back doors open to prove to people there's nothing in here to break into, but then the consequence of that is that, just like tonight, I think his intention probably was to sleep in the back of there.
Humberside Police's patch covers a large area of coastline and several resorts popular with holidaymakers. But as well as attracting tourists, seaside towns are magnets for vulnerable people and the poor, as former hotels and guest houses are turned into cheap social housing. Nicola and Becky have only just finished dealing with the man found in the back of the lorry when a call comes in about a different drunk causing trouble on Bridlington's seafront.
Yeah, call's just come in to say that there's a gentleman on the Esplanade that's in drink, he's got a bottle in his hand, who appears to be having like a bit of an argument or something with possibly a council worker. One of the on-foot PCSOs is on his way down there now.
Moved, he's on Regent's corner of Regent's Terrace, Esplanade.
Police to CCTV, where's this male now, please?
Yeah, CCTV is at the end of the Esplanade, near 2 PCSOs.
Yep, I've seen him.
2 community support officers have stopped the man, but as a PC, Nicola will take charge.
My name's PC Camis and I'm a police officer.
So what?
We've had a complaint that we're quite concerned about your behaviour at the moment. I can see that you're in drink. Are you heading home now?
Oh, you're so about nothing.
Right, you've had one
Come
public
on,
order
you
warning
wanna arrest me?
already.
Yeah, no, I can you. Oh.
Are you threatening violence towards me?
No, I'm not. No,
November Whiskey 15. Can I have another unit, please? I've had violence threatened towards me.
Did I say that this way?
You've just told me that you can me. Yes, that's exactly what you just said to me. And I don't appreciate being spoken to like that. I have no intention to fight you. All I want you to do is to get off the streets. I do not want you swearing in a public place. What are you doing in Bridlington?
I'm looking for you.
You and everyone else, what are you really doing in Bridlington? I haven't got all evening. Are you here staying in a bed and breakfast?
Yes.
Right, which bed and breakfast are you staying in? If you can't give me a straight answer now, you'll give me no choice but to give you a bed for the evening in our custody suite until you can speak to me sober.
No, I don't know.
Right, where are you staying?
Me? Seriously.
Pardon?
Seriously?
Yes,
Nowhere.
seriously.
Nowhere.
Basically, he wouldn't leave her alone, so when I came over, he started being aggressive towards us, and luckily the councilman, James, he was around, and he got CCTV and police to come and have a look.
We basically gave him a lot of chance to leave the premises, and he kept leaving his alcohol on the side. He was basically just being very aggressive and trying to cause arguments with us both.
Nicola's not getting anywhere with him. He's incoherent and very drunk. There's only one option.
He's going to have to come in. This time he's going to have to come in for drunken disorderly.
What have we done?
Listen to me. This minute in time.
What have we
Listen to me.
What have we done?
At this moment in time.
What have we done?
Off me now.
Hey.
You are under arrest for drunken disorderly. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you lay line in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. It's necessary for your arrest right now. Where are these keys for?
Keep your nose out.
It's not a very nice way to speak to a lady, is it?
Yeah. You think I'm going to talk to you after you just done this?
I hope you're going to be very embarrassed tomorrow when you wake up sober.
That what? So I'll know. I'm going to you right over.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just slam in
2055, drunken disorderly.
2050. 2050.
Once the man is locked in the van, Nicola has a chat with the council worker who called the police in the first place.
What exactly has he said, or doesn't he?
Well, literally, he come across to us and asked us for a fag. So
Right.
I gave him a cigarette, and then I left because I thought he'd disappear then.
Yeah.
And then literally he's just been totally abusive, effing and blinding and stuff like that. So,
To you?
To me. And then he started on these two, and then he wanted to start fighting with us.
Unfortunately, dealing with behaviour like this is part of police work.
I'm quite used to being sworn at. How's it make me feel? It goes over my head. A difficult decision to make in those circumstances, from my point of view, as to how we're going to deal with him, because, you know, as much as he's grabbed my arm and made my arm red, you know, that could be assault police. I don't think that was his intention at that time, although he did threaten violence to me initially, which is why I asked for the patrols to join me. As much as I've got the PTSAs with me, I'm aware that they don't carry any utility belt with them in terms of protective gear. They don't carry parva, they don't carry asp, they don't carry anything like that. No, it can't get personal. I'd go home in a wreck every day if it got personal.
Back at the station, the man is booked in and put in a cell.
He'll get bedded down now for the evening and sleep off the alcohol and see what it's like tomorrow, and hopefully he's a whole new different person.
The man spent the night in the cells and was released the next morning. He was later charged with drunken disorderly behaviour and convicted at court.
We've seen today that the neighbourhood teams tackle all sorts of crimes and complaints. If one thing stands out though, it's their ability to communicate effectively with people from all walks of life. Join us again next time.